We've got it all figured out. That's all.
That phrase always ends well.
We did the second sync for a long time because it used to be so, our recordings were all janky and there was,
What?
I don't know if we need a second sync anymore. Like, I feel like one sync just kills it. We're just nailing it every time.
I thought we did the second sync because it made editing easier.
No, it did, but I'm saying editing is so easy now. Like, who cares?
I think that previously the latency,
the original, latency
Skype
of recording
was so bad.
Yeah.
That, it was difficult to conduct a conversation. So Skype as a product has come a long way, I think.
Yeah, we're getting to a place where it might be easier.
I didn't mean necessarily as far as syncing it up. I just meant that, like, we would sync at the beginning and then bullshit for 20 minutes and then do a second sync and then the actual conversation would start. So if you're editing, you can just fast forward.
Just to fast forward. Yeah. Actually, that's still really a good point. We should probably hold on to that. You're right. Second sync still
honestly,
matters.
I've been doing this so long, I know what Joey's intro looks like.
You, like, see it in your dreams.
Yeah, it's like fully like in the audio matrix. Right? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right, Joe. Well, let's just do us something. Do us something proud. Make it look like Harper's Dreams.
Is that so, Harper? When you just look, you look at the waveform, and you can see where I'm like blonde, brunette. Nice.
That's shout out to the Matrix.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice callback, buddy.
Thanks.
From a movie 30 years ago.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
I got my sweet jerk off with them shoes on.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler. Just prepare to... yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is January 22nd, 2023, and this is episode 627. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and former season ticket holder. This show, we're going to discuss an 0-4 week of Pacers basketball. Joining me this week are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to the Cincinnati Bungles and all my Bungles fan friends. Kudos to you guys. Who knew that this defunct franchise would make it to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row? And hopefully, the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
From Asheville.
Yeah, we can't afford to take on the NFL, Jason.
Don't get us canceled already.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender mixing up the drinks in the crappy jingles.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Tough week in Pacer Nation. That's all I got.
Okay, all right. I think you set the tone for this one.
From good show.
Boise, Idaho, out west.
It's a superb show.
John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Shout out David Crosby this week.
Shout out. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Before we get into more of the show here, first thing is I want to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables, and you can support us with your money for as little as $1 per month. On that topic,
Hashtag NFL Legal Fund.
on that topic, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary. So shout out to us.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out.
Shout out to all you guys. Cheers to everybody. If you're an undebeatable out there.
No, when people ask me how long I've been doing the podcast, I say 20 years. So I was surprised that we just hit 10.
Feels like longer, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good thing that it feels like longer.
It feels like way longer. What's the present for a 10-year anniversary, Joe?
Well, so we
10.
So tin
Aluminum?
is tin is one of them. I think you can get a bouquet of flowers is another one. And
That's
diamonds
weird.
are always diamonds are always welcome.
Diamonds are forever.
Forever. Yeah. For every anniversary. That's what it is.
Yeah.
For every anniversary, yeah, exactly. Get me a freaking diamond now.
So I think that what we should get is a Roman numeral 10 made out of tin.
Ooh. Oh, I like
A
it.
10-10.
Yep. A 10.
A tin 10.
So as much as I like that idea, it's tin or aluminum, and so I just need all of the listeners of the show, and we've got thousands of them. I need them all to send me a case of beer in aluminum
Oh.
cans.
I'd
There
settle
you go.
for any
Yes.
British listener just recording the word aluminium and sending it to me.
Aluminium.
Yeah. It is a superior way to say that word.
That's true. That's true.
So Colson, you want aluminum, but you want it sent via beer cans. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Aluminium
Aluminium.
via beer cans. Yeah.
All right. Well, shout out to all the Undebeatables. You guys, we've of course enjoyed doing this for 10 years. So it's been great, and we love doing the show. We love having the listeners, and it's been great. I don't know, most shows don't last this long. None of the other Pacer podcasts have lasted this long. So
Most marriages don't last this long, I think.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. Most parent-child relationships. I don't know.
what?
And what?
I don't
I mean, are we
Said by
talking
an
about amongst
unmarried,
all
childless
species?
I'm trying to make this special.
Okay. Thank you.
By,
for
by
doing that.
denigrating
cutting-
every
by-
other form of relationship on the planet.
Yes, that's my goal. This is the best thing. Everything else sucks.
Okay. All right.
Now that we've
good
informed our
knowing
listeners
listeners.
that their life is empty, let's get on with the show.
Yes.
Cheers.
Your
Yeah,
life is-
if you're in a relationship that's under 10 years, start questioning it.
Why bother?
Why bother? Thank you, Eeyore. So, and the reason we do this show, besides, of course,
Is that going to be Colson's nickname on podcastreference.com?
I'll update the
Eeyore?
wiki.
One of them? Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Why bother?
If you're enjoying this podcast, just know that
Well said.
so this,
If you'd like more of that high quality analysis, head over to patreon.com/undebeatables. Well, of course, besides the great company I have here, the other reason we do the show is to talk about the Pacers, and it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week and a half. Pacers are winless over the last 6.
7.
7 now, okay. Yeah. First game of this week was on MLK Day. Pacers took on the Milwaukee Buckaroos. They lose this one 132-119. It was insane. The game was wild. It was 3 points, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. TJ McConnell was on fire, set his career high. We'll talk about this one more, but Pacers lose the 132-119 on Monday, January 16th. January 18th, Pacers played the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road. They lose this one 126-106. This game was less of a shootout. From the Pacers side, Andrew Demhard is the leading scorer here, with Benedict Mathurin and Trevelyan Green as the second, tied with 13. Tyrese Haliburton is out, and I think we're gonna have to talk a little bit about that because I think the team is hot take not as great with him out of the lineup. Third game of the week, taking on the Denver Nuggets, Friday, January 20th, and this one also not super close, 134-111. Individual performances, Mathurin off the bench, leading scorer, 19 points. Duarte off the bench, 18 points. Those are our two top scorers. Miles Turner, 15. And not a beauty there. The game yesterday night against Phoenix was actually competitive, very close most of the game. It was 112-107 against the Phoenix Suns. And that was on the Saturday, January 21st. Some good individual performances here. Buddy Hield dropping 22. TJ McConnell with 18. Miles Turner at 16 and 12. And McConnell.
Triple-double.
10 rebounds, 12 assists.
It was third of his
not
career.
enough.
Yeah, third of his career, but not enough.
Yeah.
What we've learned this week is that TJ McConnell is amazing. Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned in the Milwaukee game, career high
at halftime. He had his
a career high at halftime. So his previous career high had been 23. I think he had 25 at halftime. But the most impressive thing about that was that he did not miss a shot. He was 3 of 3 from behind the arc. He doesn't shoot 3-pointers. He had hit all his free throws. He was perfect from the floor at halftime. An amazing game for him. It kept us in this. That Milwaukee game was my favorite game of the week because we were going against, a team that's won a championship in the last couple of years. It's got the same core. Of course, they were missing Giannis.
Was it?
Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They were missing
no
their
Ibaka,
best
no
player.
Middleton, no Antetokounmpo, no Inglis, no other Antetokounmpo. Other than that,
Right.
yeah, same guys.
No. I agree. They're missing all these things, but we played so well. Missing our best player. I mean, you got to mention that. Right now Haliburton is playing at an All NBA level. He's definitely an All-Star. He's our best player, and a lot of teams in this league can lose their best player, like a Giannis, and still compete. We cannot do that, and I thought that the way that McConnell was competing kept us in this game, and then in the last 5 minutes or last 7 minutes, Milwaukee was like, "Oh right, yeah, we have the experience, and even if we're without our best 2 players, we're just going to be better," and they just closed it out. And they did that. And all week we've been without our best player, without a backup plan. And McConnell has, I thought, on and off again this week, really put himself in a position to drive us because this team is so driven by point guards. It's not enough. It's just not enough. And it was an 0-4 week.
I mean, well, perhaps if our fearless leader, Rick Carlisle, had listened to the pod a little bit earlier and done what I suggested, which is move TJ McConnell into the starting lineup, which he did in the Phoenix game, We were much more competitive in that one, albeit it was against their C team as well.
It was.
My worry after this week is, are we now the team that teams rest their best guys against?
100%.
Yeah, we are that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not your worry. It's the truth. Yeah.
And
Hopefully
we're not.
that's just because Haliburton was out, or
I mean, yeah, for sure. But I mean, we weren't really even competitive in these games outside of one of these.
I mean,
Which
I
I
thought,
don't know. If I'm Miles Turner in a contract year, I'm asking my team for $40 million, and when Haliburton's out, I can't even really make my team competitive. Is TJ McConnell's team when Haliburton's not on the floor?
That's the thing, you know.
I think that makes it tough in a contract negotiation when you're asking for all the money.
Well, you're looking at the box score, yeah, and Miles Turner starts, and it's, you know, Mathurin and T.J. McConnell and Duarte, you know, getting the stats. I mean, you know, yeah, this is not a good look for Miles Turner.
Miles Turner had a 30-point game at one point.
Against an Antetokounmpo-less Bucks.
Right. And again, that was the close game, and then they closed it out, and we had no answer. So,
and this
you're right.
against for Haliburton, you know.
right. And the other thing is if you're, you know, not that this team's MO is playing defense, but if your calling card as Miles Turner is defense, and your team is giving up 130 points a night, like, that's just not good. And I mean, I know it's not all his fault.
Nope.
It's not all his fault at all. But I mean, that's where the difficulties lay this week, right? Was on the defensive end. We offered no resistance to anybody, basically.
To anybody's
At least
C team, yeah. It's
the bits that I saw. I thought that the offense functioned relatively well. I mean,
No, I completely disagree. I
disagree, okay.
I was really frustrated by a team that wasn't moving the ball, that was running into traffic and trying to get layups, that was taking covered three-pointers. I mean, Haliburton does so much to stretch the floor for this team, and I thought our offense... granted, we gave up a bunch of points this week, but I thought on some level it was our inability to respond almost ever. Healed was less effective. Nembhard was our starting point guard for the first 3 games of this week, and he had, I think, one really exquisite game. I think it was I can't remember, but he had one really solid game in general. But like otherwise, I felt like he looked like a rookie. We weren't moving the ball, and Mathurin was just driving into traffic and trying to get a foul. I thought our offense looked worse than our defense, and our defense didn't look great. I think that everything was a problem this week.
yeah. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of gold stars floating around in an 0-4 week most weeks.
yeah.
Not
I mean,
super
I guess I'll agree with you. Like clearly that starting lineup with Mathurin and Nembhard didn't work well.
Did
right?
not
because
work.
I totally
Did
agree.
not
Mathurin
work.
gets the ball. He's a bit of a ball stopper at this point and drives to the basket. And I mean, he's relatively successful, so
Sure,
not too bad
sure.
at him
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
I mean,
But
I agree
it
with
does
that.
it does like disrupt the rhythm. I guess maybe the minutes that I caught were more when TJ McConnell was on the floor, and
Oh, sure. The
He
offense
tends
looks
to-
better at that point, for sure.
Right, exactly.
But when he's
So-
off the floor, our offense looks terrible. And Naismith, he just looks rusty. He doesn't look like the player he looked like earlier. We made him our starting power forward, at 15 games into the season, and he's been producing. And this week he looked undersized, unable to shoot, unable to attack. I thought he looked way outmanned this week. Yeah, no, I just thought in general everybody underperformed, and I don't know what that says about, because I don't think it was the competition. I think it's about Haliburton. I think it's what he provides, and he spreads the court, he finds the open man, he makes everybody look better at their jobs. These guys aren't that good. Haliburton makes them look better. I mean, I hate to say that, but like, you know, there was a great article in the Star about how you know, now that Miles Turner is back, Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson have to split minutes, and they're not splitting minutes. You know, Carlisle is choosing who to play when based on matchups, and so, you know, basically one guy could play no minutes and then they could play 30, and that's just how it's going to be. Both of them look bad. They both look undersized. They both look, you know, I think Haliburton makes everybody better at their jobs. And without him, and there's a reason he's an all-star candidate, and there's a reason he's a all-NBA candidate. Without him, our team looks pretty bad.
Yeah, but didn't we know that? I mean, this isn't news. I mean, I've been trying to explain. This is the whole reason why tanking made sense for us, because we don't have the depth on this team. Granted,
no, I agree with you. I think
young,
I was just
and he's got a lot.
I just was surprised how good Haliburton was, I guess is what I'm saying.
I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, Matherin is a rook. You know, Duarte hasn't looked down to himself. Yeah, Nembhard's a rook. You know, and when these guys have to put up minutes, you know, against, you know, I even hesitate to call them starters given the week that we had, but you know, when they're
professional basketball players,
right? Yeah. Exactly. You know, things get a lot tougher, and this our lack of, you know, elite talent is exactly why we were talking about taking some L's this year to get another high draft pick, because this team, as good as Haliburton has been, I mean, we are always going to be an injury away from, you know, a 7-game losing streak, right? And in that sense, it's no different than when we had Sabonis, right? Because we're just hyper reliant on one person's output, you know, to make this thing go.
And the style of basketball that we play doesn't lend itself well to collective efforts pulling you through, right? It's not like we muck it up and play defense and make it a tight possession game. Our goal is to outscore people, and we intentionally play faster when things aren't going right for us, which sometimes can help and oftentimes can hurt a lot.
Worse,
right?
when you're hitting shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but
not
turning over the ball, right?
Taking your highest IQ guy off the floor, though, is going to hurt your fast break execution.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, I think, the question is, how long is this pain gonna last, right? And so the initial reports we got was that he was going to be reevaluated, Haliburton, that is, after 2 weeks, which would be this coming Wednesday. But it sounds like it might be even later than that. Like, I think he's targeting end of the month, beginning of February before coming back. So that's a week and a half.
Really? This is what you're bringing to me right now?
I mean, we cannot rush this kid back. I mean,
I agree with that.
His message to the media was, you know, this probably happened because I was overdoing it to begin with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is probably true. And this is not a season where we need to bust our balls to get freaking 50 wins. It's just, this is not that year. There's no reason to rush him back. We were comfortable tanking going in. I mean, we are where we're at. We have maybe a few more wins than we'd really like, but if we miss the playoffs, and we have a healthy Haliburton next year, all is well.
Yeah, no, but you mentioned that. I mean, we have more wins than we want to have if we're going to, you know, try to get into the lottery. I mean, we were clearly never trying to do that, but the season's going to be what it's going to be.
I mean, I think I mean, exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess you take it as, you know, at least we saw a bright, shiny spot thus far this season. And who knows, if Haliburton comes back and we can get the magic going again, we can probably get in the play-in, I would guess.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I think we could. I mean, I think we could still even get an 8th seed. I don't trust the Hawks. I don't trust. I mean, the East. The bottom of the East is a mess. Yeah, I know it's a play-in, but like, I don't think we even have to compete for the 10th seed if Haliburton comes back.
The only team below us that I think could pass us are the Bulls if they get their shit together. But the Raptors are a mess. They're probably going to blow it up.
But if
somehow
they blow it up,
Washington's on the verge of the play-in. I don't understand how that's a thing, but
because they're also a team that other teams rest their best guys against.
Yeah,
so they
there
pick
you
up
go.
A few random ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Orlando could. I swear, Orlando could win a bunch more games, but they ain't gonna.
Probably not. Yeah.
Charlotte's.
They'll take another high draft pick, put him next to Paolo, and that team's got a future.
Yeah, for sure they do. I had a guy walk in last night wearing full Charlotte Hornets gear, and I was like, "Oh boy, you are just real brave." And he was like, "We beat the Hawks tonight." He was just like so excited, and I'm like, "Yeah, the Hawks are like 500, dude."
Yeah,
like,
you should be rooting for losses right now.
He was so jazzed up. Or Hornets stood up. Hornets stood up.
He didn't get his emotion chip upgrade. He's overdue.
That's right. It was a tough week. It was a tough week to watch. I really I like this team, and it sort of is. I really did feel like this is a week where you watch guys make bad decisions and they learn from it.
Hopefully.
I mean,
cool.
like that was. It was kind of like a learning week. I hope.
I didn't. I don't
but
think
like
I thought conviction.
But I mean, I feel like almost top to bottom, outside of Haliburton, or I'm sorry, Haliburton wasn't there. Outside of T.J. McConnell and Miles Turner, I feel like all these guys were just getting whipped, and they gotta learn from it. So
yeah, there were a lot of teaching moments.
Yeah, a lot.
I think both the Oklahoma City game and the Denver game, Carlisle was basically down to one timeout by midway through the third
Yeah,
quarter.
he was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, no, in that OKC game, like, we probably could have used an extra timeout. Like, that game was still in doubt, but he had burnt all of them. He's like, how are you getting beat by... not the OKC game. The Suns game. Like, I feel like he was out of timeouts at the end of the Suns game. He was just like, yeah, how are you getting beat by the Suns C team? We got to win this game.
How is Joshua Koji and his mask?
He's just killing us. Just killing us.
There's a real glare coming off that thing. It was distracting.
I guess so.
Was he perfect from the free throw line? Like, who is this dude? Like, can we trade for him? He was amazing.
I don't know, but he was always at the free throw line. That's all I remember from that game.
He did everything, and I think he got all the rebounds. I'm not looking.
He actually didn't shoot that well from the line. He was 11 of 15, but
But he was there all of the time.
I mean, if you live there, you don't got to hit them all, right? I mean, Shaq didn't hit them all either, but he sure scored a lot of points there.
That's right. Oh,
all right. Well, the road trip ends mercifully, and the Pacers come back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Tuesday.
I think it's too late for mercifully
to face the Chicago Bulls, who are right below us in the standings. Then back out on the road to play Orlando on Wednesday, second night of a back-to-back. Then back in the Fieldhouse to play the Bucks, probably with Giannis this time.
At least one of them.
One of the Antetokounmpos. And then back on the road Sunday, the 29th, at Memphis. Thoughts? Feels like we got to get a win at some point. 1-3. Feels like a 1-3.
1-3.
Yeah.
Orlando does not even want to win at this point.
Right.
And Mathurin has got to have something for Paolo. Because Paolo went ahead of him in the draft, and every time he's faced somebody ahead of him, he's had a good game. So Mathurin for 30 against Orlando.
Ooh, career high.
On the second night of a back-to-back. Sure, why not?
Yeah, no, I'm out. I think we just lose all these games.
I think we're gonna make sure that we stay in the pretty much the dead zone, and we're gonna win all the games this week.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
All right,
that sounds very pacery.
That does sound very basic. I think my concern is that this team can't win a single game without Haliburton there. So I'm just going to go with that. Till he comes back, I'm just going to assume we're going to lose.
Or until they accidentally win a game.
No, it's not going to happen, dude. Don't worry about it.
I mean, eventually one of these teams is like not even going to have a quorum. Like they'll have to forfeit for lack of players.
Yeah. He's definitely making his all-star case quite well.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm. And how?
And All NBA. I'm still rooting for him for a third All NBA right now.
Yeah.
As long as he's not injured too long, I think
Right.
he's deserves it. So.
The boss.
All right,
Boo! Boo!
Jason, did you give your prediction?
Yeah,
for the week?
1 and 3. I got him going 1 and 3. I think we can beat the Bulls.
Oh,
Yeah, let's get them Bulls.
oh yeah.
Like it.
Forget those guys. All right. Well, you can find us on the internet as a way to talk to us in between these. We are on
I think
Twitter.
they found us on the internet, Joe. They found us on the internet.
They did. Unless no. We never
We were on the radio for a while.
it was still not like radio.
Internet radio.
It was Sirius radio.
Yeah.
Satellite radio.
Oh, yeah.
That's
satellite
true.
radio, that's right.
That's
true.
different than the internet.
Colson, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Because I'm thinking I think we're gonna start releasing your clip shows on wax. Do you think that would be like on vinyl?
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. We should do it on vinyl. Yeah.
Maybe we should just release one like Wu-Tang, and we'll start the bidding at $1 million.
A single one. Which
No,
I
we'll,
think,
we'll do. We'll go to. Okay, here's what I'll do. We'll go to 500. So it ends up being like 10 hours of clip show. We'll put it on.
I need that cut down to like 60.
Oh damn it! All right.
'Cause those things don't.
So you
get
you
10
can't put 10 hours on wax. Oh man! All
unless
right.
you put like a MP3 player in that record.
Yes, it's like,
Yeah.
All right. When we get to 500, if I can get it down to 60, we'll put it on wax and we'll sell that for $1 million. This is our new. This is how we're gonna retire.
That and Wikipedia, right? Was the other one?
Wikipedia, and also my other idea is that we put these our audio in balloons.
Don't elaborate on that one. I think we need to take this offline. Wait, no, I can't. What? What are you talking? In the balloons? What is this? Is this like to drop like propaganda over other cities, or what are we doing here?
We know how like you scream into a balloon and then you tie it off and then you pop it later and it screams.
I actually don't.
That's what happens in the. That's what happens in the cartoons. Okay. So my theory is we'll just record pods. We'll put them in balloons, just the sound, and then we'll sell those for like $1 million because you can only listen to it once. It'll play the whole podcast when the balloon pops. Somehow.
It's a big balloon.
Yeah, right?
That's what she said.
This is a much better idea than what I thought your original idea was. Was going to be like put a cassette tape of an episode in a balloon and float it off into a helium balloon.
Actually, that's not bad. Yeah. Actually, that's probably a better idea than mine because mine doesn't actually
envelopes like in church in there.
Yeah,
just like
right. Yeah, exactly. Or like a message in a bottle, right?
Yeah,
like,
so
actually,
that people on desert islands can.
What I like about your idea is that actually you could actually listen to our sound as opposed to when the balloon pops, it's not going to play the whole thing. So
I mean, I guess it will, but it'll play it in
like all at once, like
3 milliseconds or something.
All right. Well, we're gonna be rich.
Keep your eyes out for floating balloons. It could be an Undebeatables episode.
Well, I think what we're saying to our millions of listeners is we need a little bit more Patreon, because otherwise John's coming up with $1 million ideas that might fail.
Well, you can find us on Twitter at Undebeatables. You can apparently find us floating in the sky. We are on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is theundebeatables.com. And there's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message that way. And you can email us, shoutout@theundebeatables.com. And I tell you what, Colson, if we could just lock down the desert island demographic, I think that would be a good place to start. Because you just need a good niche, you know?
Sure, the desert island niche, yeah.
And you'd assume they have, you know...
I mean, they got nobody else to listen to but the balloon, right?
Right. Or the message in a bottle.
Well, I would like to remind Pacer Nation that we are the longest running podcast at 10 years. Nobody can even hold a candle to it. So if you care about
it's probably going to melt the balloon.
Yeah.
If you care about content, you could listen to other shows, but if you care about longevity, listen to ours.
We already demoted him from like the marketing team.
Too late. He's still bringing that.
For the once and always coach, Bobby Leonard, now in the Hall of Fame. Turn out the lights,
I wonder, could you do a whole episode on helium? I'd listen to that.
Well, when we're gonna have to turn the record speed up quite a bit anyway to get all that content on there. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, that caught me. That was good. I like it. We could all be chipmunks. We could just do the 10 hours and get it down to 1 hour by doing it at
playing it at
4x speed.
Yeah.
4x, no, more than 10x speed. Yeah, it'd be great.
So that Wu-Tang album, I think, was bought by a dude, like one of those...
Scorelli.
That's the dude,
Martin Scorelli.
And I think he had it seized by the feds because...
Oh, yeah. Because he's going to jail.
Because he did...
Actually, he's already in jail.
I think he's already there, yeah. But he's kind of an ass.
Don't buy our record with fake money. Don't go to jail.
It wasn't fake money. I think he, what did that?
He got it all from really sick people.
Yeah. He's a.
I mean, also,
bro.
Don't piss off Wu-Tang before you go to jail. I'm pretty sure they have a following there.
Yeah, fair enough. They ain't nothing to F with.
They are not.
That's what they say, at least. For the children.
For the babies.
All right.
Can't hit an episode better than that.